P control, proportional control. And we have done the PI control, and today we want to do the PD control. Okay, the way we can try is this. Let me compare the P and PD. So our system, so this is P control. And let me write it up. I'm going to use this one. So let me write it. You can try, will be pretty much like mine, and I put the two columns on a single page. That should be good enough. Okay, so kind of give you the, if your page is kind of later size, you should be able to split into one page. Okay, so for the two problems, this is a 1 week down. 2 hours, 2 lecture hours ago, and here I try to compare with you. For the demonstration, we have the same GS, and that one is equal to 1, S plus 1, and S plus 2, and S plus 10. So GS for both systems are this. And for these controllers, for the PD control here, we have is PD controllers usually is GC. We have this format is the proportional. This is proportional gain, and plus the derivative gain, and that is times S. Okay. And for proportional control, we only have a constant K there. And this one we can rewrite into this. So let me put into here KD S plus KP divided by KD. And let me define this one as the KD and S plus Z. Okay, so let me put into this form. So basically here in these controllers, let me put into this form here, KD S plus this. Okay, so that is the original. So we have those things. And then from here, we can prepare for our formulations. So the first one, we want to know, basically follow up our previous analysis. What we're going to try for our goal is to find the controller gain. So here we have two controller gain, KP and KD. Or we want to tune KD and ZC, etc. Here we have two controller gains we want to find and to meet certain specifications. And for P control, we only have one. So again, we want to meet certain design specifications. And for specification, usually is in terms of the transient response and also steady state response. So that is the only two categories we have learned so far. So we start from here. So get that ready. So that means here, before we proceed, really in our mind, the big picture is this. We are interested in calculating this. And then we are interested in knowing the unit step response. Okay? So at least we want to explore this one, and either by calculation or by plugging the response. So keep this in mind. So here we try to get something ready. So the first one, we get the closed loop transfer functions here. So that is kg and 1 plus kg. So therefore, the characteristic equation for this is 1 plus kg as equal to 0, or let me write it up, 1k and s plus 1, s plus 2, s plus 10. expanded, that will be equal to S3 plus how much? 13 S squared plus 32 S plus 20 equal to 0. Okay, we get this ready. And for this one, we have the transfer function. Closed loop transfer function is KD How about, let me define this one is GC. Okay, GC is for controller, so that is GC as times G, and 1 plus GC as times G. Okay. So, so in this way, and that one will be equal to so therefore the characteristic equations is 1 plus GC as GS equal to 0, or that means is 1 plus KD So we get everything ready now, and we can begin to try. We can begin to try. The first one, we can plot the root locus. And this one, you can use the MATLAB command, and that is root locus. And root locus is based upon the characteristic equations. So here, this is the this one. Let me use equation 1. Let me use different numbers. So here is equation. This is equation 1. This is equation 2. So that is based upon equation 2 here. Okay. Based on equation 2, you using the open loop system, or we call the path forward, whatever that number. So here is the denominator. Here is the numerators, and this is the denominator 1, 13, 32, and 20. So by this one, you hit return, it will give you a good plot. And if you like, and again, you can use this command axis equal. So that means the x and y axis will scale to the same unit. And that way the drawing won't be distorted. This one will be particularly important because most of the time we want to visually identify the design specifications. If that kind of plotting is distorted, at least you wouldn't be able to tell the angle for zeta. Okay, so keep this in mind. So for this one, this is the same. For the root locus, and that is equation 1 cube. So from equation 2, you have the same thing, root LOCUS. And this is 1 ZC, 1, 13, 20. And
bless you.
For this problem, if you directly type in this command and hit return, the MATLAB will ask you what is this number, right? So that is the first one you will keep in mind. So before here, you can say ZC equal to certain number with limit, and later I will demonstrate that for you. Okay, so this number is something we're going to input later. And here I type in is every single kind of the cursor. But you can write every single line, those lines into a single file. and you just call the file. Okay. So we leave that one here. And then the second one we want to know is the unit step response. For the unit step response, and that is based upon equation 1. Because from the unit step response, we want to calculate is for Rs equal to 1 over S, right? Okay, so with this one, then we will base upon is the closed loop transfer functions. Okay, so don't confuse with the two things. This one is for the characteristic equation is for root locus. Okay, so for this one, based on equation 1, then let me rewrite equation 1 here. So this one expanded should be equal to KD S plus VC. And this one is S3. Okay, so here we have to do a little bit symbolic calculations to get the right form. And in this way, the steps input is this. We simply use this command here. And that is based upon the closed loop transfer function. The first one is the numerators. Numerator is KD, and KD multiplied with ZC. And the second one is 1 denominator 13, 32 plus KD, 20. Okay. And again, for here, we have the parameters. So here at the front, you have to give the certain number for KD. Okay, we leave that here.
Shouldn't you have a bracket around the 1?
Hmm?
Shouldn't 1 have a bracket around itself for your numerator?
Where?
On the steps one right there. Where
This
you,
one?
No, yeah, on that one, number 1, the number 1.
Number 1.
It's your numerator. It should have a bracket around itself, right?
This is the.
Oh, no, that's your K. Okay, never mind. Never mind.
Okay. And the same thing for this one, we can write it out with step input. So for this one, we can rewrite this one. We can have the detailed expression. This is K as plus 13. And my lecture notes has been also revised and available on Blackboard, so you can dig it out. So for this one, the numerator is K, and this one is 1. Okay, so again, here at the front, we leaving constant, we need to input first, okay, and we can turn it. And the last one, we calculate the steady state error. Steady state error is limit. We take this one. Okay. So what is ES? Where ES is by definition is E is here. Okay, so that E is C minus R minus C. Okay, so simply that is RS times 1 minus C over R. Right? So right now the C over R is based on the equation 1, so we can plug in here to the calculation. Okay, so therefore, let me skip the details. So ESS will be equal to 20 plus K. This is what we did last time. Okay, you can compare to your. So back to here, we have the steady state error and limit, and that's equal to 0 as times ES. And again, E is this one here. So that is, again, in a similar way, the ES is equal to the same format, the RS times 1 minus C over R, and C over R is from equation 1. So we skip up the detail. The ESS here simply is equal to 20 plus KD ZC. Okay, so we get everything ready here. Those ones are the kind of exact calculations. And so before we really get into the MATLAB coding, here we want to estimate KD and ZC. So here we have certain things. For example, from here we want to determine the value of K for P control. We might start from here. So here we know the steady state error for this case won't never be going to 0 unless K go to very large. So from here you can get a feeling how much the K you want to choose. And the second one is from the root locus, you might be able to help yourself to visualize which location, which means corresponding to the damping ratio or the value of omega n. So from there you can match with whatever the design spec and to determine the value, and that will help you to determine K as well. And our focus today is to use the same thinking process to determine the two values. And let me go on to the MATLAB to see. And to this step, we have all the information. So in reality, we're going to tune the parameters a few times and watching the things a few times until we satisfy, we're happy about the result. And that's the typical design process. So that is my PD controller, and let me type the one into my file. And later today, I'm going to email you this file. So basically, that could have all the basic information for this one. So right now today, we are on the PD control. Okay, so we continue on there. And the top one is P control, so that is the one we here. And so how about this? Let me drag this one. Okay, let me focus on this one. So for the P control, let me type in root locus. And I have all the formulas, 1 VC. 5. And for this trial, the design specification is this. I wish the damping ratio is about 45 degrees, which means 0.707. Okay, so that is one scenario for demonstrations. So with this in mind, and I just, you can see I randomly make this equal to a small number, and we see what happens. Okay, so this one is, let me try double, let me make sure this is, so that is this one, okay? So, unfortunately, this is the dominant pole will be here. Dominant pole will be here.
I don't think even the axis is equal. I think you have to replot it.
Say that again.
I don't think the axis equal work.
It's equal here.
I don't think so. Is it?
Try replotting it.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, one does work, it works, but if there's spaces.
I don't know.
Good. Right now it's equal.
Oh, yeah, I don't know.
So from here you can see where is the dominant pole. So here we have 3 poles. So let me pick the damping ratio of 0.007. And where is damping? Larger. I need to increase. So how do I increase? I need to increase the range. The damping ratio is way up here. Okay. So what is the value of K? K here is 22. So let me enlarge. So here you can put the value of K. So this, the third argument gives you the range of K, say from 0 to, say every increment is 0, 1, 2, say let me put, say 50. Okay. So that is here. And we can see damping ratio is still not enough.
No.
Then enlarge.
No, you were good because you want 707, right?
Okay. So here. 707, about here. Okay. So that is the pole corresponding to the damping ratio of 0.0707. And however, the other third pole will be here, right? So this is our dominant pole. So the system's performance will be dominated by this performance, by this one. And this one somehow you can see, I can guess. This one, if you want to calculate, you can calculate. But here, how about this? We can calculate this pole. So you can see this gain 52.1. This is the gain means our root locus. Our root locus is based upon these equations. And right now we have given the ZC, so that means in MATLAB, the gain here, 52.1, that means representing the value of this one. Okay, so right now I'm going to show you I want to show you how to calculate the poles. And we suppose 2 poles here, complex conjugate. I want to identify the third one. And you can try using MATLAB easily. So we rewrite this equation. This equation basically is S3 plus 13 S squared plus 32 S plus 20 plus KD S plus VC equal to 0. So basically this polynomial has the coefficients is 1, 13, and 32 plus KD, and 20 plus KD times ZC. And you simply use the MATLAB command roots. That will give you the result. And let me use this one. Okay, so if you can use that one, you can really calculate the third pole here. Okay. Want me to do it, or I can skip? You can do it. right now it's 52.1. 52.1. And then the third one is 20 plus, again, is 52.1 times ZC. ZC, our example is here is 0.5 here. Okay, Z. So now you can see we have the complex conjugate minus 0.2 and minus 0.2. So you can see that is very close to what here we marked, right? And then the third one is about minus 0.6. So the third one is minus 0.6. So basically, for this case, I can show you the whole response of the result will be the summations. The response due to the two poles, that is in isolation of that one, and that will be equal to this. That real part is, that will be exponent of the real part times t, and times in terms of the sinusoid of oscillation, for example, let me pick sine, and that is the imaginary part times t. So for our case, that will be exponent minus about 6.2 times sine about 6.2 times t. So this one, if you draw it, that would be something like this. If you do this one carefully, that will be something like this one. Okay. Compared to the third one is minus 0.6. For the third one, that means the response is minus 0.6 t. The third one is minus 0.6 and plus J0. So response is exponent minus 0.t in the same format as sine and zt. So basically the third one has no oscillations but only have the decay like this. So we superpose the three oscillation modes together. Then you can see for the complex conjugate, they will decay to zero very quickly. So the majority of the response will be dominated by the pole there. This one is not good design. Well, I would say in terms of specification, we wish the damping ratio is, we wish our damping ratio, for example, say damping ratio is less than equal to, how to say that? Nothing wrong yet, but right now if we have this drawing and then if you label here is the one, and earlier from, for example, if we have any design specification, for example, we determine, say, let me make one example. This one must be greater than 0.707, and then, for example, we've been calculating this one would be equal, less than or equal to, say, minus 0.5, minus 0.5 here. So this one representing, if you know our calculation as equal to minus zeta omega m plus j minus something, right? This one representing is our real part. So here I'm going to show you if we have from the design specification, we have this range, then the desired range is here. This one corresponding is 45 degrees. So let me put the 45 degrees in a good way. Okay, so this is 45 degrees. And this one is greater than this one, so that is in this range. Okay, and symmetric up and down. For this one, the real part is less than 0.5, so here is 1, and here is 0.5, so that would be here. Okay, so that means this is our design range. Let me highlight the design. Our design range will be in here. Okay. As long as you choose your controller gain and such that the root you calculated falling into this range, that is okay. Okay. So that is the design. And then as far as how you pick, then unless we have further information to help, otherwise we exercise can stop here. Put it with a good shape. Okay. So back to your original questions, our design is based upon the second order, and then somehow for this case, the dominant is here. So to see the result, we can draw a unit step response to see what happens. Okay, so that typically is a stage of this. So now we can draw the unit step response to see. Okay, so one more here. So KE, for example, we put it 52.1, and that is what we identify for the label you choose. Okay, so let me put the things here. So we see unit step response. So that is this one. And a little bit overshoot, but you can see the steady state value is about less than 0.6, and our unit step input is 1 here. So you can see for this option we have quite a huge steady state error, right? So you can try to play around. So maybe we can do this one more time. Okay, so we can try another one is, how we try this this is equal to 8. To see what happens. And we have 3 more minutes. So now you can see this one, if we choose the value here, let me pick 1.
But now you...
So 0.07. Okay, we can continue.
But that made your imaginary dominant. Do you not? You don't want that, do you?
So for this one, right now, this one become a dominant, right? So for example, I pick here, that is our dominant. So this one, complex conjugate force become the dominant.
Yeah.
And then, so this could be a good option if this one falling into our design range. You know what I mean? Let me get this out here. So if for these options, if this one somehow, yeah, you know, if we can overshift, if this one, let me overshift this, let me shift this desired region to overlap with this one. If this one will fall into this domain, then that could be the good option, Then we check the unit step response to see what happens there. So this one right now we pick is gain is 2.62, so that means here we change here. Okay? And that corresponding is a new value of VC. So we see here. Response is like this, very different. And you can look at the value here is even lower, and so that means the steady state error is even bigger. So we keep trying to tune and until really reach and here is the point, you won't never be able to reach a perfect solution. We always try to optimize, because sometimes you improve, for example, steady state error, then you sacrifice your performance at the transient. On the other side, if you improve your transient, then you sacrifice your steady state error. That is the system. Unless you increase the number of the controller gains, have a controller to be more complicated, give you more degree of freedom to choose from. Otherwise, that is the nature of this control. Okay, that is a very, very important concept. So never be able to spend your time to look for a perfect situation.